Cleo wanted a little OPSEC here. You know, she didn't want to be seen, recognized in her video, so she's wearing her what do you call it, shamag there. I put it up there. And anyway, thought this was a good lead in for the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Most people may not realize it. Here, I'll get her in. But the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse are actually riding today. They have been riding probably for pretty near the past, maybe a little over 100 years. Am I boring you? She's bored. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay. Anyway, if you think about the colors of the horses and how it's written, I'm going to let you go ahead and look it up. I'm not real good at quoting, and I'm just out here for a different backdrop. The black horse has a set of scales, and it's a penny for a tare of wheat. And anyway, capitalism, the black horse. Oh, let's start with the white horse. The white horse, Catholicism. Now you say, well, Catholicism, they don't conquer. Well, the Catholic Church has been traditionally white. You know, the Pope's stuff is all white. Everything is white. It wasn't until recently he started wearing a crown, and he has a bow, no arrows. So anyway, it's kind of you know, when a country becomes Catholic, it's considered a Catholic nation. So therefore, they do take over the what do you call it? You know, they conquer. And up to just a little over 100 years ago, they wasn't the peace-loving Catholic Church that we know today. They burnt people at the stake and everything else. So anyway, so the white horse would represent the Catholicism. Now, what's the red horse? Oh, the red horse. Mighty sword. What countries are signified by red? China, Russia, communism. Communism. So we have the Catholic horse, we've got the Russian or communist horse, and we've got the capitalist horse. All of them riding today. Who's the pale horse that's given time to run, to kill a quarter of the population of the earth? Who could that be? Muslims? Yep, they've really started running amok here. Last 100 years or so, all the horses have been riding. So anyway, I thought that was, there's other videos you can look it up. They explain it much better than I can. I also wanted to touch on another subject. And in my neighboring state of Kentucky, the sheriff of, I forget the name of the county, but it's just outside of Louisville, went and arrested parents off-grid. They lived off-grid. They lived in a shack, but the news media videotaped it. I did notice in the background there was a generator. There was a deep freezer. There was a freezer, so they had electricity, except they were off-grid. So I'm thinking this libtard, Chicago Tribune that made the video was trying to show the worst of it, and they missed it. Hey, there was a freezer sitting there, animal pen. But the neighbor's saying, well, they have a tarpaulin. They live under a tarpaulin. This time of year? Yeah, I could see that. Especially if you didn't have central heat and air. But you can look at the pictures of the children. So they were playing in mud every now and then. Yeah, kids play in mud, so what? Big deal. Um, but then you can go to the recording where the sheriff arrested the mom, and she was trying to defend her two teenage children, and he arrested her for resisting arrest. So the parents, it's not the parents' duty to defend their children anymore. So you mothers out there, if the police come out and try to shoot your children, you have to obey. Yeah, that's real cool. You can look it up. It's all this is on there. I thought, when we see things like this, our country has gone past what I think they call it the Rubicon, the point of no return. There is no turning this country around anymore. Uh, it would literally take an act of God to turn it around, and we don't want it. The churches aren't raising a stink because they've been shut up by the 501c3. If they mention anything political or back up political or talk ugly against a political opponent, they could lose their 501c3 status. When the 501c3 was first started, it sounded like a good idea, but it was just another government control. So pastors have been muzzled about talking about the politics. Preachers should be able to say, hey, this politician's for pro-gay marriage. This politician, don't vote for him, and, tell that in the church. Hey, this sheriff here defends all the homosexual prostitution in my county. Yeah, they do that in my county. It's like, but I don't have to worry about it. It'll all be, they'll be judged by somebody else, not me. I'm putting Cleo to sleep. But there's been other things. I mean, if you just watch the news, and then if you watch too many YouTube videos, these fearmongers, it's almost like the CIA has hired a room full of people to put together repeat videos and dream up every possible way that the earth could be destroyed and make documentaries on it. So, and some of these people must have too much time on their hand because they're pretty good documentaries, but they just all repeat each other. There's the comet, there's the nuclear war, there's the EMPs, the zombie apocalypse, Planet Nibiru, FEMA camps. I mean, does it really matter how? I mean, just pick out the worst case scenario you can think of, and that's what you prepare for. If it's anything less, hey, you're happy. But everything, it's really strange. This several thousand, what do they call that? Age-old book has got so much right, and it's predicting what's going on right now. Anyhow, let's see, what else was I going to talk about? Will you quit stomping your foot? That's not going to make me hurry up anymore. The flies are bothering them today. So, anyway, let me see if I can adjust this light. Looks a little harsh. No. I made it too dark. Made me too dark. But anyway, we've got an out-of-control government. Of course, I've said that before. Natural disasters happening everywhere. Big earthquakes. Of course, we got a volcanic island we're going to have another island about 300 miles or 300 kilometers off the coast of Oregon. I wonder if that will become part of the United States when it pops up. But there's a volcano erupting off the coast there. That's building up underwater, kind of going to be another Hawaii in a couple of thousand years. I won't be here for it, so it doesn't really matter. Uh, Of course, I had that dream about a disaster, and there's been other people having it. Having, they're all pretty much the same theme. People running around, chaos, and all like that. But maybe we should take a note from the horse here and just take it one day at a time. You know, uh, because I don't really foresee any way to turn it around. The people are so divided now. They've been divided by the homosexuals and the fighting amongst the different religions and the atheists uh, and nobody going to stand together. Most people don't even care about the Constitution. Don't care about it anymore. So I hate to say it, I think it's a lost cause. It's just nothing left to do. I kind of hope that I can get out of this place and you know move further out in the boonies. That way, maybe it just won't. Maybe it'll take them a little longer to find me with their stormtroopers and all like that. Anyway, there's the jihadi horse. You want me to put this back on you? Oh, that woke you up. That woke you up, didn't it? How about up there? Like that? The jihadi horse? No. Anyhow, I just thought I'd make a little video today, talk about some current events going on. And it was really disturbing about those children being taken away by the government up there in Kentucky because they didn't like them living like they did in the old days without, uh, indoor plumbing and stuff like that. It's too rough for a child to use an outhouse or a chamber pot during the wintertime. It's just unthinkable for somebody to live like Daniel Boone or Davy Crockett. Well, Davy Crockett, he was a congressman. He got money. But, to live the frontier lifestyle has become, how would you say, bad. It's not bad. There's another word for it. But just obscene. It's just terrible to live like the people that founded the country lived. Live off the land, off grid, not have to get utilities and stuff. I'm kind of thinking about doing the same thing. get rid of this place here and get some surgery done where I can get out and do a little bit more work. I could actually ride the horse then. No way I could ride her now. I'd break my leg trying to get off of her. I mean, I can make her lay down. Y'all have seen that. I can make her lay down and I can get on her. But getting off, you try to get off something like that at my weight, and I would break a leg. And she probably would appreciate me losing about 150 pounds before I did it anyway. And she doesn't really care. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now. I've got to go ahead and water the other horse and put her back up now that I've made her listen to me make a video.